What is going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Tyler Guy here, and today for Old School Wednesdays, we are doing another awesome castle set. The set we're doing is actually taken from the Kingdoms theme of castle, and it's set 7946. It's called literally just the King's Castle. Came out in 2010, so it just makes Old School Wednesdays. Had 933 pieces, 8 minifigs, retailed for about 100 US. Now nowadays this set's going for 278 new or 126 used. So it's actually appreciated quite a bit if it's new in the box. Anyways, really good solid castle set. I have to say it actually, like, no pun intended, but it is a solid set. Like, it's just a sturdy castle. It kind of reminds me of like a fort build, except it's a castle. Anyways, great set, a lot of awesome features in it as well. But yeah, enough talk. Let's get right into it. And here she is. So what we're gonna attempt to do is give you guys a 360 view of this guy, and then we'll break it down section by section. The very cool thing about this set, and I actually wanted to buy 2 of them, I'll show you why. It kind of breaks apart very nicely, kind of like the Fort Lego Rado set back in the 90s. Anyways, great looking castle. Not the biggest castle, but it's still a very good castle nonetheless. Let's now break it down into area by area. And I'll show you kind of how that's done. Literally, it's just Technic pins that connect all of this, and you can just take her apart. So what we're gonna do now is, let's take a look at the front right here. And this is where the main gate is, the drawbridge, you know, basically the main way that you get into the castle. So to bring up this drawbridge, literally all you do is you bring this up, pull it up, and what's really cool is back here, you just pull this pin basically back, and the drawbridge is gonna stay up. Now let's say that they just want to lower the gate. Well, how you do that, let's just say let's lower that drawbridge. So you saw where the pin was. All you do is you just raise that pin. Let's do that again, because that was kind of anticlimactic. This is one area that this set really does well. Anyways, you get the point. It comes right down, right? And let's say you wanted to lower the gate. So lowering the gate's really easy. Literally, it's the same thing. Uses all these different pins. Comes right down, like bang. And then if you want to raise it, you can see that there's these little, basically, they're almost like levers. Well, I'll show you guys how that kind of works. You just raise it, and literally the drawbridge comes up, goes down. So it works really, really, really well. On either side, it has these little tiny catapults with some little, basically, black Lego pieces that you can shoot off of it. The only one area I will mention is they could have had a little bit more detail in here and here. Literally, you just get a window. But I mean, we're getting picky. The other cool thing about this set is it has a nice little top area for the archers to kind of shoot down. So I really did like that. I love having platforms to set your minifigs. But now let's take a look at the rest. Another thing I just wanted to mention is this set makes a really nice looking little courtyard. So if you want to have a middle section where you have like armies setting up, maybe some peasants going around, some cavalry, you know, just some horses in there, you can do that. So right off the bat, you get these 2 sides. Now what's really cool about this is on this side right here, you can see that there's these little yellow pieces, and they're supposed to signify bread, which I thought was pretty cool. And then on the left, you have some weapons. So it looks like you got a morning star. It's basically like a ball and chain, and a sword, which is pretty cool. Right here, they have a little prison, and you can very nicely throw a minifig in there. Let's take this archer's weapon away. Probably won't have his quiver, but he fits in there nicely. We'll get into that later. And then on the side, we have a nice working catapult. So I'll just show you how that works. That works actually really well. Much better than flick fire missiles. And then if you guys notice, it has a little door, which does open up. And what it opens up to is, I'll show you the other side, is just a vacant little room. But on this side, we'll get into this. There's another little platform. There's a rat, which is absolutely awesome, with stairs leading up to it. But on this side, there is a treasure chest. And I'll show you guys what's inside. So you get some nice rubies, you know, a red, blue, yellow, and green one. All the varieties. There's no gold pieces in this set, which kind of annoys me. Before we move on from the back, let's say that they want to rescue their buddy. Well, this literally pulls off and you can get him. So it's not a dynamite feature like in the Wild West sets, but it's still a cool feature. Let's give it that. The other thing is you get this very nice looking arch, or whatever you want to call it, with the flag on top. But the one thing is this is where the king's throne is. Now, I'm just gonna say it, I'm not a huge fan of this throne room. I mean, it's literally the dinkiest throne room you could get. But I mean, I still appreciate that it's there. I just think they could have done more with it. And then there's another little doorway that leads basically into there. But yeah, that pretty well does the rest of this castle. The other thing I wanted to mention is there are, let's just pull this apart so you guys can kind of see. There's these other little rooms which they could have maybe done more of in the corner, the bottom corner. You guys are like right here. Not a big deal, but I really appreciate it when LEGO utilizes every room. I think that that's cool and it adds more detail to it. But anyways, this is the set. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna combine them in a different way, and you can kind of see, you know, you can mix and match this set how you kind of want to make it. I'll just show you guys. And here it is changed up a little bit. The main key difference that you'll notice is this is a lot more elongated. So you can kind of do that. You can get the idea though that if you bought another one, you could really customize this up a little bit. You're kind of limited with your options if you only own one to kind of mix and match it. But if you own two, you could definitely do it and make this like a supersized castle. Maybe improve on the throne room size. Anyways, I just thought I'd show you this. It doesn't do it quite as well as the Fort Legorado set from '96, but it still does it. And if you own two of them, you'd have a pretty big castle. This set screams Age of Empires to me if you ever played that. Age of Empires 2, fantastic set if you like RTSs. Anyways, this is the castle. Let's now take a look at the mini. And we're gonna start with none other than the king's noble steed. So very nice looking horse. I love these pieces that kind of go over the horse, kind of like his armor just to cover him up. And it is all printed. There is no stickers, obviously. It has a nice head guard right here, as you guys can see. But the one main fault, I'm just gonna point it out, and I'm not a big fan. What is up with the spike on top of here? Is it supposed to be a unicorn? Like, what's the purpose of that? Like, I just don't get it. I don't particularly like it. Whenever I kind of have it on display, I kind of just take that piece off, and it just looks far better and more realistic to me. As much as a horse lowering its head and maybe, you know, jabbing them with this spike would be good, it just reminds me of a unicorn and looks super unrealistic. But besides that, I really, really like this horse. I love the fact that his head guard is basically gold. Let's now take a look at the 8
and
minifigs.
here are the 3 dragon soldiers. So very nice looking. You kind of get a variety, which is nice. You get an archer on the far right. You get a kind of like a spearman, and then you get an armored up knight. Must be somewhat royalty on the left. Very nice looking. Let's give you guys a view of their faces. Now there is no back face printing, but yeah, they you know, they got their own little faces going on. Different. The one thing I want to mention too is this minifig right here has leg printing, which is absolutely awesome. I love it when they give you leg printing. The other thing too is I'll just show you guys quickly. They do have back torso printing, and it's nothing too crazy. As you guys can see, there's the knight on the left or on the right now, and then the archer also has what looks to be basically like chainmail. I do appreciate it when they more detail the better, right? That I'm all about that detail, as long as it doesn't make it look wonky. But those are the 3 minifigs. Let's now take a look at the
and
soldiers.
here are 3 of the 4. So I'll give you a 360 view just to let you guys know. These 2 archers, I believe they are identical. Yeah. So that's why I just took the quiver off the one, just so you could kind of see what his back torso looked like. Very, very nice looking. They all have different faces, which I appreciate. Back in the day with LEGO sets, they kind of sometimes gave you the same face in the set, which I just think is unacceptable. I mean, come on, let's be a little bit more creative than that. But yeah, very nice looking. This guy kind of has a halbinger. It's basically like a big spear. So he's a variety of basically a pikeman, which is pretty cool. I love it when they get some stuff historically accurate. But yeah, these are the minifigs. Let's now move on to the final two. And probably, it's one of my favorite Kings Legos. And here they are. So let's just get the, he's still a good minifig, but the less interesting one out of the way. This is just another Halbinger minifig. He's basically like a spearman, big massive spear basically. Let's now take a look at the King. This guy is amazing looking. Look at, he has leg printing. He has that awesome looking plate mail armor. He has the gold sword, gold crown, Izzo chrome pieces, the nice red cape, big shield, not printed. I mean, it is printed, it's not a sticker, obviously. Just great looking minifig. This is actually the Viking head that they used on, actually, I do believe they've used this on some of the Viking minifigs. But anyways, very, very nice looking. Let's just give you guys a little bit more view of his torso, because there's tons of detail on that as well. Great looking minifig. I mean, look at this guy. He has like a royal outfit under his armor. I'm just such a fan of this minifig. He's one of my favorite minifigs, at least for Castle anyways. I thought I'd put him back together just because he looks so awesome. And then I love that he has a little plum on the top of his crown. This minifig, believe it or not, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces that make up this minifig. That's huge. There's certain minifigs that only take 4. Anyways, awesome looking minifig. Let's now get into the end of the review. Guys, that was my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, I don't know if there's many areas they could improve on. I loved the, the gate of the set. I love the drawbridge. I mean, all in all, just a very strong castle. I mean, it's solid. You got the little catapults all over the place. You got the little areas where you can set up the minifigs and, shoot crossbows or arrows at them, right? It's just all in all awesome. I love the little jail. The only small area, like we talked about, is I wasn't too keen on the King's throne room. I think they could have did a better job at that. It just is very small. But besides that, great set. It's like a fort castle, and I think they did an awesome job. I give it a 9 out of 10. The only area they can improve on, I believe, is the King's throne room. But let me know what you guys think, if there's any areas you think that they maybe could have improved on, if you own this set. I just think it's all in all a very solid set, pun intended. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. And click that bell so you're notified for any future old new sets we do on this channel. Every Wednesday we do them, and it's one of my favorite basically series to do on this channel. But yeah, that's all I got. But thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.